So, it's been 4 years since I started this little investing journey. Mainly dividends, but I've done a bit of capital gains investing as well, right? So, as you can see here, it has not gone very well, which you would have seen anyway from a couple of the portfolio update videos. So on the whole for the year, it's been an interesting one. I've had a couple of new events happen with it. I also figured out that only 680 of this pound, 680 pound of this negative return is actually my own capital. The rest is what's being reinvested from dividends and profits from selling shares, right? Capital gains. So that was a little bit more of a positive for me. However, it's still down 22.99%. It's not good. So, before we have a quick look at the portfolio, I managed to, for the last year's target, which was invest, 20% of my weekly income, I managed to do that for about 9 months in total. Then I started dropping it down to 10%. At the minute now, I'm bringing a little bit less each week. So I've gone down to £30 a week, which works out to be £1,500, as opposed to £60 a week, which was £3,000 over the course of 52 weeks. So that's how much I'll put away now for the rest of the year. So that's the year target, is £30 a week, and that will be that. However, the portfolio this year is going to see a couple of changes. So, City Social Housing, which was a social housing REIT, got acquired. So that was a monthly payer. So that has been a bit of a hit to the annual dividends. So that was a bit of a shame, because I liked that one. It was doing okay. It was doing perfectly fine. There was no big swings in the price on it. It was nice and stable, even finishing the green when I sold it just before they would have delisted. I tell you what, although it's an acquisition and not liquidation, I'm kind of glad I did sell beforehand, because I may have learned a lesson on never ever letting your shares get delisted. What happened was Edison Property Investment Company, decided they were going to. Edison was the monthly payer. Civil Social Housing was a quarterly payer, but I did like the stock. I liked the quarterly payers. It was great, right? However, Edison, which was the monthly payer, they decided to liquidate themselves. They sold their portfolio to an arm of, what's that big one? Realty Income in the US, right? That's their big US retail, the monthly payer. So they sold it, right? UK monthly paying REIT sold it to an arm of a US American monthly paying REIT, right? So, because they were doing a return of capital to their investors, return all this cash, I got the return of capital from them, which took my dividends for the total dividends up to £3,000 instead of 2,000 odd. And it also meant that technically I still had 1,000 odd extra in the portfolio, because I started reinvesting it. And then the stock had been delisted, but it was still in the portfolio. So I was waiting for that to be officially delisted. They were going to complete that, and then I knew there'd be grand and something disappearing from the invested figure by here. And in fact, it did drop down then, and then it's now back to 16,000 with capital being put in and bits and pieces reinvested. However, when it was all said and done, and they sent me the email to confirm this has been listed, blah blah blah, this is how much your shares are worth as a result, which was nothing. They took the loss from the delisting, the liquidation loss value of £1,022.66 from the realised profit and loss. So, from what I can figure out, it's the same money, right? Because over here in the dividends, I've got down here 3,100, right? I had a return of capital, which is, where is he? Right here, 1,035. But over here, we'll try and find it in a second. This was £1,090. After they decided to do a liquidation, my shares went to zero. I lost from here. So effectively, when I got that return of capital, this was a total of 4,000 odd. So it's the same money, it's just they've accounted for it here. Kind of move up. That's kind of how I'm working. Otherwise, I lost £1,000, and I've only had £13 odd left. I don't see it like that because I had the money. Money be reinvested, and there was an effective profit, right? Capital gain effectively. But because this is how this got accounted for, I've learned the next time somebody says, oh, we are looking to return capital to shareholders, I am selling before they even do so, because I do not need that again. Alright, I don't need another grand odd disappearing out of here, even though it's going to end up over here. That messes up my total dividends, because it's not technically a dividend. It's a distribution to shareholders, but it's not a dividend. So, this has taught me that lesson. Anyway, so if I come over to here and all, it should be down here somewhere. There we interest on cash, a little bit of interest here and there. There we are. Sold 1,500. Market value was market sale. Sorry. So we got here. This is when they did it. Filled, and that was a quantity. That was the price because they liquidated it, and that was the loss. £1,022.66, which is deducted from there. And with the return of capital over here, it's kind of the same. It's the same money, but it's not being counted. It's been counted in a way where I took a huge loss. So I've learned that lesson. So yeah, that's been the big lesson for the year. The other one is making sure I properly average down. I was going to say dollar cost average. That's where basically you put in the same amount each week, and if it's up or down, it doesn't matter. It's averaging out. Where you average down is when you only buy every time it goes down. Problem was, I'd buy when it goes up, I buy when it goes down, and I also group. So I'd have several shares of the same sort of price. And when it drops, and I haven't paid attention to it for a few weeks, the next attempt to average down is a little bit more difficult. If, say, I bought, let's take Aberdeen, right? Let's say I bought Aberdeen at 170, 160, 150. You can see there's a drop between the prices, right? I might have done it at 170, 165, 160, 155, that sort of thing, right? But that is how you average down every time it drops. You want to make sure the price you pay for now is less than what it was before. That's the idea. If you group them all around, when it does drop, to try and drop again, you've got to get quite a bit of a distance between the last price you bought at and the new price, because you've got the averages can be too many. It's like it's taking all the different price points you've got, adding them up, dividing by the number. It works out batches, right? So if I got 10 batches, 100 shares each, different prices, the addable price divided by the number of batches, which would be 10, that gives you an average price. The average price, which is what it's all about, right? Average price per share, That now means I've got too much to swap. And I bought this as like £3 odd, right? I've averaged down between 550 shares. That's average of 55 shares per batch. I have got to work down the spreadsheet to show you one day. But this basically means I've gone, when it was down, up. I've averaged quite a lot, the 190, 180. Now I'm down to 160. I have bought 150 odd, which is 2022. Which is the fallout of a certain budgetary announcement. That's the lowest it's been, and now we're getting back to the 60s, which is great, right? Especially since we're still down, I can buy some more shares, and they are due to announce their results next week. This week, sorry. I have put my name down ready for the earnings call. Full annual results, full picture, not like half a picture or a quarter. Which is my thing. I look for the full results of the annual report and go on that, as opposed to, oh, this is what we did for half year. Well, what if you made a return this half instead of the last half? Because half year for 2023, they took a loss, right? But if they've made an overall profit for the year, that's different. But I still need to see that full picture. That's my way of doing it. So, yeah, basically, I've averaged down quite okay on some things, but not on a lot of them. And this is what part of the return issue is for me, right? I'd have a better return, because in fact some of these have actually outperformed on even on a loss. They've been a bigger loss, let's say, for the year, right? For the last year, they're down 21%. I'm down 18%. I've outperformed for the past year, but still a loss. I've outperformed the loss. I've got less of a loss right now than what they took for the year. Right? This is one way you can look at it, a slightly positive way. But yeah, that's basically it. Right? So I have had a bit of a lesson on how to correctly average down. So that's now what I'm going to focus on for the year as well. And try and stick to my investment cap of 1,500 for quite a few of these. We see at the minute I'm happy to lose just down the stock, so I'm happy enough with that. So yeah, so because it's been 12 minutes, I'm gonna say bye bye for now. I might do another video another day to show you how the averaging down process works. I have done a spreadsheet thing, right? And for now, I shall see you at the dividend about a week's time for the dividend income video for February. See you then.